Hi everyone, my name is Cassie Kemp and I'm one of the librarians from Creative Learning Services. We're the school's library service for Leicester, Leicestershire and Rutland. I'm also the East Midlands judge for the Carnegie and Kate Greenaway medals for this year and for next year. The book that I've chosen to talk to you about for the National Shelf Service is a previous Carnegie Medal winner. It is One by Sarah Crossan. It won in 2016 and that was a really special year for me because that was the first year that I professionally, as me personally, shadowed the Carnegie Medal for the first time. I'd followed it up until that point, but this was the first year that I really got into it. I read all the shortlisted books, I got really into it when it was all happening all over social media and I was really excited. The day that the winners were announced, I was sitting there going, come on One, come on One, come on One, because that was obviously my favourite. I loved all the other books in the shortlist, but One to me just really hit something and I was just like, this is amazing. I wanted to win and it did win and it was just a glorious moment for everybody involved. It was fabulous. But I've chosen to talk to you about it today, obviously because for me it's very memorable as a story, but it's such a beautiful piece of art as well as a piece of writing. It tells the story about two Siamese twins, so that's Grace and Teepee, and they have been obviously conjoined since birth. They've only ever known life with each other side by side, and up until this point they've been homeschooled and they've never really been out in the real world with other teenagers of a similar age in a school learning environment. But at the beginning of the book they get the opportunity to go to school for the first time, and then we see how things unravel and unroll for them, and lots of questions are asked about whether what would happen if one of them got a boyfriend, if they got a different set of friends, all these different kind of things. But then at the same time the bigger question is asked of, can the operation go ahead, can they be separated? It's such a thrillingly emotional story that it stayed with me as if I read it yesterday, but really it was a few years ago the first time that I read it, and it's absolutely stunning. It is as well one of the first verse novels that I ever properly read as a librarian. Now, if you've not come across a verse novel before, that is a book that's told entirely through poetry. So it's a series of poems that link together and they make a story, and Sarah Crossan is an absolute genius for writing the verse novel. A book like this, it really works to have a verse novel as the format, because you know that the words that have been chosen because they're so powerful and they mean something. It's more sparse, the wording on the page, but you know that every word has been chosen for an absolute purpose and for meaning. And it's like reading song lyrics or a poetry collection, obviously, but it tells a story and it runs on through, and it's just the most beautiful way of telling the story of Grace and Teepee. I can't imagine it having been written any other way or been written by any other author. Now, Sarah Crossan, if you can't get hold of One, you can also read lots of her other books that hopefully are available to you now during this time. So we have Moonrise, there's Apple and Rain, there's Toffee, which is the most recent book, there's The Weight of Water, there's loads and loads of them, but obviously One is the one that I've chosen to talk to you about. One is my favourite, it's my number one, and hopefully you will really enjoy reading it. Thank you very much for listening and stay safe everyone. Bye.